All right. Stream is on.
Or at least I could take out one of the cannons. And I think I could get away with it.
Well, the other
But
thing is, I don't know if we need to take out the cannons. If we could just take out the necessary materials to fire them.
yeah.
So if they have a bunch of gunpowder in a wagon, which I believe, Bill, you said that there were a couple of wagons that pulled up next to the cannons that had stuff they were pulling out to load. Or am I imagining that?
Say again.
Did you? I thought that you had mentioned that like two like wagons were pulled up next to the cannons, right? That they were pulling the stuff out of to load it with.
That's correct.
Do you have a spell that could create um, summoned horses that could just drag these wagons to us?
Are there lion noises happening?
I'm not hearing any lions.
Maybe with you, but not with the rest of us.
But now that you mention it, I'm gonna start some up because
You guys
that's
is
really gonna add
terrifying.
to
I
the
just put my
ambiance.
AirPods in. I can't hear what you're saying at all, but I am hearing the wildest big cat noises in my headphones.
Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything.
What about now, Kyle?
Now I can hear you. I think the audio was going through my AirPods in like some weird way and like processing into these like gurgles and growls that sounded like leopards in the darkness. It was really weird. Oh, maybe if I turn this off.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Apologies in advance because I have picked up a cold from my children. I have eaten
Put
enough.
it down.
I can't. That's the problem. Uh, I have eaten enough ibuprofen, I believe, to get me through the session. So let the games begin. But first, will someone be so kind as to do a recap of what happened last session in the what was actually the 29th session and now is the 30th session?
That was about it.
I don't have the document up.
Stiggy's dad was furious. We found out, not Stiggy, Starlbrind. Starlbrind's father was furious because Starlbrind is essentially like a 12-year-old in ogre years, and he was helping us in a war. Kiggy is much older than him, apparently, or at least old enough to be considered an adult in the ogre world. So their father and had picked up some tracks somehow in the magical realm of the ogres and was going to chase down Starlbrind. Kiggy went with them, so we are short Kiggy. We then went and met with the captains to start planning out our tactics. That meeting was almost immediately interrupted by drums, which turned out to be actually did that happen before? Was that 2 sessions ago, or was that this
No,
session?
you're on. You got it.
The drums started. We ran out and we saw about 1,000 draconians marching towards us. They stopped about a mile to a mile and a half away, and started building massive bonfires because it was dusk when we noticed them. So I had my crown on, and we've been talking to Brotum, who is a tactician master, but was a little bit reluctant to help us because he's pretty pissed at the dwarves. Speaking of the dwarves, we sent a runner because they are not here yet to them to tell them to go north around the lake to flank the Draconians when they get here. If they're marching here at all, we don't actually know that. So overnight, we had as many people sleep as we could in shifts. We sent Gelidus and Owen, and I believe Jana went with them. We sent them with the Black Lotus Eaters, and they harried them all night long. Had several kills, right? I think 60 some kills overnight or something like that. Is that right?
I think they had close to 100.
Close to 100. They then sent out some, like, come dawn. Did they send out parties to the walls before pre-dawn? They did, right?
Yeah, they raided in the night a couple times just to sort of test the defenses. Those
Yep.
things were repelled.
Yeah, we repelled those, and then in the morning, they brought out these two big metal cannons, along with wagons full of things to shoot at us, and began firing. I believe they fired only 2 volleys before we stopped. One hit our walls, and a giant chunk of the ice wall fell off. And the other one landed well short of the wall. Landed short of the wall. And I think that's where we are.
That's correct. And yeah, the game proceeds with the firing. It takes about 5 minutes to load and aim these machines, and then they fire off.
How long? A minute?
5 minutes. You can't see the details of what's happening. It's kind of hard to make out. They definitely put something in. Yay, shenanigan. They definitely put something in the end of the barrel, and then they do something to the side, and then they seem to, make some fiddling adjustments, and then somehow there's like a terrible explosion with flames shooting out the front, and then a rather large projectile is fired. The other good news is not only does it take them 5 minutes, but they're not very accurate. A significant number of these cannonballs have the correct arc, but for whatever reason, they go left, they go right, mostly they go down. They're almost like digging a trench in front of Wonder, as these giant balls smash into the ground and dirt flies up in almost like an explosion. That being said, it's not going to take them too many rounds to knock this wall down. And I just need to say real quick to all the people watching, I have this dice set to give away tonight.
Wait, that's mine.
And this is Dirk's dice set, along with Dirk's dice bag I'm giving away this evening.
You can't. Oh my god, again.
You stole Dirk's sack.
Notice how tiny it is.
If you hold
It's
things far
appropriate.
away, they're tiny, okay?
It's
That's
the
the
winter.
appropriate for
on
my
the horizon.
It's the winter.
I have a species of appropriate anatomy.
Okay.
I gotta bounce for 1 second. I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah, no problem. Could someone put up the Owl Barrel Rodeo map of wonder, because tonight it is going to be extremely important that all of you know where you are at all times, and more importantly, that I know where you are at all times.
The link again.
Also, your characters are all way, Way too big on the Owlbear Rodeo.
Species appropriate.
That's negative.
I figured it was. I mean, we don't have the little like 5 feet bracket. Oh, we do if you really zoom in. All right.
Which channel is the link in?
You can also resize your thing until it says 5 feet. Hold on, I can. Where is the Owlbear Rodeo? It should be in the players only.
There it is. It's in players only.
I just reposted it, so it's at the bottom.
I gotta figure out how to turn off my Discord popping up all the messages that are sent because everyone can just see for a second what everybody posts in the players only channel. Okay, so you see
Sorry.
Ezra's is the appropriate size.
I made Gelidus's and what I think is Janna's bigger just so that people could find them. There's Gelidus.
I was doing it.
I think this is Janna. Sorry.
Be closer to Ezra. It makes me feel safe.
$72 is really the biggest, huh?
Sorry?
I said what I said.
Okay. So, friends. Apologies if I missed anything in chat. All right. So, as it stands right now, it is just after dawn. There are two terrifying new things which the players know are cannons, but your characters have no idea what these things are. And the effect on the morale is immediate, as massive
any
chunks
of
of
us-
ice shatter and fall off the wall.
Would any of us have ever encountered gunpowder or like fireworks or anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see any reason why you would.
I mean, Ezra definitely wouldn't have.
I would not have. I mean, I was a soldier for a merchant
too.
army. I don't know that I ever would have seen something like this in that line of work.
Gunpowder
have
is not
fireworks in
really a
Baldur's
thing.
Gate?
There's not really a thing in my world of gunpowder. This is my world you're playing in, and there is no gunpowder.
Gelidus, where do you want to be?
Probably be up on the wall with you guys. Right there.
Oh,
Okay,
there's two
so
of you.
just to be
Yeah, I
clear,
Alright.
found my token.
just to be clear, who put that obnoxiously large one up there?
Where?
That shield that I just pulled off the top of the map? Actually, I'll just put it on the
John's not
corner
there
of the
anymore.
map.
That's me.
There's no way of knowing.
Oh,
That's
it's
me.
Jana. Okay, why'd you make yourself so
Sorry.
huge, Jana?
I'm
There we go.
working on it.
It
She's the
definitely wasn't
shield
her.
because she doesn't want to use AI art for her character.
I respect that.
What about Pinterest?
Ooh, that's good.
What about it?
It has art that you can steal that's not AI.
Okay, so I put on the map in the top corner a little dragon head. Hold on, I want to move it so that is the direction the cannons are firing from. Okay, everyone copy that? And then this is where the cannons are striking, right here. So everyone place yourselves right now where you want to be placed, and then start going. You can shrink that. That's
That
about
work for
right.
you?
Yeah, that's about right.
The wall has not like the top of the wall is still intact, right? Just the ice chunked off of it.
So far, it's only been
Alright.
hit once.
And then these are like mini towers, right?
That's correct.
I need to be up there.
How far away are these cannons?
Just somewhere around a mile.
So they're not attacking along a road and not a gate. They're just picked a spot on the wall and started wailing on it.
Apparently.
A mile is a really long way.
It is.
I got nothing, guys.
Nothing in terms of.
I have nothing that's effective out to a mile.
No, I don't think any of us do.
So the good
Yeah,
news
I feel
is,
like-
just to like
I could throw
clarify,
a big spin. Go ahead.
the good news is, so I'm gonna just highlight this space here is all open field, and then back up here in that direction is where the hill, like this is uphill, this direction, right? It's a gentle, like gradual slope, and then up from the lake a little bit too, because obviously the lake is the lowest point. And then Wonder is at that lowest point in the valley where the lake is. Everything else on all sides is slightly uphill, but it's very gradual. And then
Somebody moved me.
I could just put, like, I don't know,
With music.
like I can put, if I wish I could just put trees on here. But like over here is the forest. So the spot where it's clear is, basically from this tower to the lake is free of trees. And then
So
there's
there's another forest between the Copper Road and where their cannons are.
right, but the forest is cut away 300 yards from the edge of Wonder. That's the standard defensive thing. It's like how as far as your arrows can reach. So that forest would really start 300 yards from the wall from that third tower down. And then basically the north is mostly plains and the south is mostly forests.
Well, if anybody wants to run out there with me, forests don't slow me down. Let's leave that ability.
Well, we need to get the Ursines out
Wonderful.
there. So I think we send the Ursines out the Copper Road exit, have them run, down the Copper Road to the forest, and then have them come up and in. They're bears, for Christ's sake.
I
What
would say
about-
centaurs as well.
What's that?
I would say centaurs as well, so they can shoot arrows from behind and on the sides.
Yeah, but they're not going to be as effective in the woods, right? They're going
No,
to be
but
more
they're
effective in the plains.
but they're fast and they're not going to be that effective on a wall.
Yeah, no, I just, it's a little early, I think, to send them out. There's nobody to fight yet. Like, you know what I mean? They're not marching on us. So just
I mean,
sending
they
them
could
out.
get to a cannon pretty quickly.
I hesitate them charging a cannon that we know very little about.
How quickly are these cannons firing?
Every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes.
Speaking of which, another round just struck the wall.
Which they're not super accurate, right? So that's the second one that's hit the wall.
That's correct.
Where?
Pretty much the same spot where that orange ball or orange sphere is.
Right. So Marbrotum in the Crown said that it's likely we're going to lose that section of the wall. Even if we could get out there, it's a mile away. We don't have, can anyone run a 4-minute mile? Maybe the Centaurs, but they're running into wide open area there are people manning them. So they're going to be able to get reinforcements quicker than we could get out there. So Marberton thinks we should build some traps, go with Owen's idea, and start building traps right behind that breach in the wall, because likely that's where they're going to try to come through.
That section of the wall is about 80 feet long, it looks like.
Right. So if
Maybe a little longer.
if they're
I
going
guess
to
a
try to
quarter of a mile.
breach the city there, we can set traps just inside of that where they're going to be funneling through. But I don't know, I would leave traps to Jana and Owen since it was his idea. What sort of trap are we thinking we should set?
If we wait until, I mean, one of the mages has move earth that we could use to very quickly dig a pit. But we would want to wait until there's a hole in the wall that they're approaching, and then we could just dig a pit wherever that is. We don't know exactly where the wall is going to come down along this stretch.
Do any of our druids have a flight form?
They do not. They are all plains animals.
Like they're not high enough level to have a flight form?
Nope.
No, they just have
They're
land
they're-
animals.
And their dire animals are like weirdly higher. I mean, I don't know. Mechanically, they shouldn't have that ability. It seems to be a cultural thing.
So they sacrificed a flight form. Okay.
I mean, and if you ask one of them, they'll say, "We can each only take one form."
So they're weird druids.
The good news is if they come through the walls, there's like the single alley between the walls in these buildings, and then there's the kind of like street on the north side.
Those are both fairly broad streets.
Okay.
Still,
Yeah,
that's
the map's not quite to scale.
It's not.
I
But
think
that's, I mean,
our best shot is funneling them into one of those roads.
yeah.
We
I
could
mean, we could fire
barricade
out at them
one of
from
them.
the buildings, and
I mean, you can put archers up in the windows.
Yeah.
Owen, what do you think?
I'm still trying to figure out if we have something that can get out there faster than. So, like, do any of the druids have a cheetah form?
Yeah.
Because that's 50 feet every 6 seconds, and they need to go, what, 5,200 feet? It's a mile out.
Give or take.
I mean, I could get out there in between 20 and 30 minutes. If it's just open field, I mean, I can run it. I would probably be able to get out there in 15 or less, and I would be invisible. The problem is that, that means that they're firing 3 times and they could hit me.
I have a question for you guys. Can you hear this?
Did you fart?
You can't hear anything? All right.
Can't
So
hear anything.
Twitch could hear the sound of a cannon firing, but you guys cannot. Anyway,
If we
fired again.
If we built a barricade south of where they are firing right now, then we could funnel them towards the water. And if we built something so that they couldn't curl around, if we had 2 barricades, essentially, we could funnel them towards the water and trap them, so that they could only go to the lake, or at least head in one direction. That even if we couldn't fully barricade, we could send them around the outside. But if we let them go south from that hole, they're going to spread throughout the city.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to go south. Maybe we barricade to the south. We put a trap in the road where they're coming in to force them north.
Yeah, you could build your hole there.
And then we fight them with their backs to the water, and we know they're not very good swimmers.
Yeah, exactly. You send them north.
Cool.
We can do that. Let's talk about these cannons, though. Do we want to try to disable them?
Do any of the druids have call lightning?
Probably.
They are metal.
So yeah, so a cheetah could do 150 feet around. So
Yes.
What's the range on call lightning?
Do we have a lightning cheetah, Bill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll say why not? Sure, lightning cheetah. Oh, it's a gimme. It's good from here.
I mean, so we could, in theory, then you can cast invisibility on somebody else, right, Ezra?
Yeah.
Does your concentration break if they get too far away?
No. I don't believe so. I just need to be concentrating.
Okay. So do we
Yeah,
want to try
like,
that?
they can- Sure.
Is it easy for us to tell that they are metal out there?
Yes, they are reflecting the morning sunlight. There is a lot of commotion now, and a lot of people are yelling. Some of the townsfolk are running off the walls and sort of panicking.
Can I start to sort of like try to rally them, and I'll see if I can collect as many people inside the walls as possible to start constructing barricades?
Go ahead and move your person.
okay,
You know,
so
we need fucking Barley to perform a rousing song for these people.
I think a
we
lightning
do
cheetah
need
could
Barley.
be there in 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Let's fucking send this lightning cheetah.
All right.
So, sorry, Bill. How close together are the cannons?
Oh, they're like 20 yards apart. From your vantage point, they look extremely close, maybe 20, 25 yards.
So I don't know. Call lightning. Is that going to be too big of a space? Are we only going to hit one?
Well,
I
we
think we're
just
only
need
gonna have
to hit it because it's full of gunpowder.
We think.
Well,
Yeah,
Gunpowder's
what's
not a
that?
thing. Gunpowder's not a thing in this world.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we just need to hit it like with something. You
Hit
know.
So
hit one or hit both. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I don't know if we can
if we
hit
hit
two of them
one,
at
we're down
once.
to one every 10 minutes.
I mean, the
right?
thing
So,
about like call lightning is
can
it
just-
keeps happening every round.
In what sort of space though? As I'm asking, if they're 20 yards apart, are we casting call lightning once and it just?
I mean, I don't know.
60-foot radius. It's a 60-foot
So-
radius.
So
I'd
20
like to-
yards.
I'd like to point out that you can see they are on wooden wheels. Someone asked that in downtime, and it is true.
Also, Bill, can we tell which cannon is actually hitting the walls and which one is not?
No.
Okay.
They both look like they're aiming your direction. Speaking of which, they're about to fire again in 20 seconds.
So do we want to try lightning or do we want to try a fireball and try to toast those wheels and knock them down?
Lightning cheetah.
We can do both.
You can invisibility two
Ezra
people.
can ride one out
Oh.
there.
Yes, now we're talking.
All right. So, can I get to know my druid a little bit before?
Nope. You're bareback in this guy
All right.
or gal.
So,
You don't know-
let's-
is it a female?
One can only hope. So, I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Bill, I'm gonna cast invisibility at 3rd level, so that myself and the cheetah, the dire cheetah, are both invisible. And we'll plan on doing. I'll explain to the cheetah. Here's the plan. We're gonna go out the gates. We're gonna go into the woods. Once we're in the woods, you're going to set yourself up so that you can cast Call Lightning above the nearer of the 2 cannons. I'm going to dismount and I will take care of the one that's farther away. Don't worry about me. After you get call lightning, try to keep that call lightning going above that cannon as long as you can. However, if you start to get, into a dangerous situation, retreat back to the city. See you on the other side.
So you're just making the cheetah invisible?
No, me and the cheater are both invisible. I turned us both invisible.
So is that 2 spell slots?
No, if I cast invisibility at 3rd level, I can make 2 creatures invisible, me and one other, or 2 other creatures, or whatever, or myself twice.
Okay.
Don't do that. It's a waste. I don't even need the crown for that.
All right. So you're going to go out through the gates on the back of a dire cheetah that's invisible?
And I'm invisible too.
So are you going to start by walking towards them, or are you going to start by running towards them?
We're running into the woods for cover.
I thought you were invisible.
Yeah. I mean, once we leave the gates, let me look at the map on my own screen here.
You just need to get like, right? Because Bill, how short are the other cannonballs landing?
A range. Some of them seem like they're like 6 feet short. Some of them seem like they're 60 feet short.
Right. So you don't need to go all the way around. You can just, actually from if you go out the gate, your angle, you can just run right to them.
Essentially, yeah, because they're not going to be aiming at us.
Correct. They're going to be firing this way, and once you get out past 60 yards, you should be safe.
Druids
Yeah,
also
so-
have produce flame. Sorry.
We're going to go as directly as we can, as quickly as I can, while allowing me to hold on, and without kind of being in front of the cannons.
All right, I better disable the cannon effect. Nobody likes it. But I'm keeping track. Okay, so are you going to ask the druid how fast then? Or are you just going to be like, run like hell?
I'm going to say, oh, God.
Hello, my name is Ezra.
Yep.
I like
I'm
long
a
walks in the
lifeguard.
woods
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and riding bareback on cheetahs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I mean,
see.
Possessed by a book.
This druid, we can assume, knows that there's a fucking cannon firing at the walls, so I don't know that you'll need to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everyone in like a 20-mile radius knows about what's happening here. Maybe further. Okay, so the druid, who is a middle-aged woman, dark hair that is naturally wavy, very tall, probably not as tall as Belga or Jorth, but 5'11", and weathered, but experienced looking, let's say. She transforms into like a cheetah the size of a small horse, and she motions for you to climb up. So Ezra, with his 8-inch back, slowly scales the side of this cheetah and plops down on its back. And then the gate opens, the Copper Road gate opens, and you exit. And what are your instructions to go for the woods? I mean, you're invisible, correct?
We're both invisible, so I say I would like you to run quickly, but not so quickly that I'm going to be thrown from you. You're a better judge of that than I am. We're going to run as directly toward the cannons as we can while not running in front of them. When we
Cannons have
get
just
close,
fired again, by the way.
Cool. When we get close, I'm going to dismount. You're on your. You're going to take care of the
Okay,
nearer
so
of the
hold
two
on.
cannons.
Oh, so these are all instructions. Okay.
Yeah. What's the range on call lightning? 120 feet. So once we're 120 feet away from the near cannon, I'm going to dismount and I'm going to quietly, invisibly walk toward the farther of the two. But at that point, you can cast call lightning. You
I'm
try
not
to
counting.
keep it. What?
Go ahead. I'm just not going to count to 120 feet here, but let's just say that.
Yeah. Try to keep the call lightning going as long as you can to try to damage as many of the draconians and the cannon itself if possible. And I'm going to move north from there invisibly. I'll do it stealthily.
Okay. So the cannon will fire one more time before you get there, and this one also strikes the wall, and it has splintered a bunch of the wood. There is one of the timbers has broken off about
go
3
repair
quarters
it.
of the way up. You want to go repair it while they're shooting cannonballs at it?
I have balls of steel.
I'm gonna be iron.
Ironically, so do they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem you run into, Ezra, when you get there, is that there is no angle that you're going to be able to do this from where you aren't surrounded by draconians when you become uninvisible.
I mean, I can be 150 feet in front of the cannon. So so the druid is kind of at a diagonal from the near cannon is the way I'm imagining it because of the angle that we took away from the city. I'm gonna wait until I'll explain this to the druid. I want you to cast Call Lightning, and at that point, I'm gonna start walking, basically due north, skirting sort of around the front
But the
of the other
second they
cannon.
cast Call Lightning, they're going to be visible.
Yeah, they will. I won't be.
Right. But that as soon as that happens, they're going to get attacked.
I mean, they're 120 feet away from the Draconians.
Yes. Well, no. They're 120 feet away from the cannons, which are positioned on the top of the hill, right? The very peak of this, very ridge of this hill.
Okay.
And then there are some draconians. Most of the draconians are to the side, but there are some draconians in front of it. So you're really only going to be like 50 or 60 feet away from the front draconians.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so yeah, I guess with Call Lightning, somebody else might know this. I guess if you leave the range, the spell goes away, huh? Anyone?
I think so.
Yeah, you can't cast it and then leave it there if it's a concentration spell.
I'll ask them to cast it at the highest level they possibly can. And again, centralized above the cannon. And we'll get one off, and then the druid can run back to the city.
And you're going to stay?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Do you have another invisibility that you can cast just in case you need to book it?
I have everything planned out.
Okay.
I've been planning this all week.
Okay, here we go. It is not stormy. There is no saving throw for a cannon. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the clouds to that point. All right. Okay. All right, here's what happens. The druid, once you've left its back, excuse me, cast their spell, and indeed a massive lightning bolt with thunder lances down from the sky and strikes the cannon dead on. It also affects all of the 5 humans that are working this cannon. There are 5 humans working both cannons. Each one of
Hopefully
them,
fewer now.
yes.
Oh, I didn't realize they had humans.
Well, we didn't either.
I don't think we care.
I mean, we care a little. My guess is that they're slaves.
Yeah, when you
Or
get close by the
servants.
women and callers.
Either slaves or they worship Takesis. And thus our line.
Okay, one of them is charred to a crisp. One of them passes out on the ground. One of them is very like half their body is like singed black, and the other 2 are not as badly hurt.
How's the cannon look?
Cannon looks unaffected. um, let's see.
Can you
Sorry,
tell
go
me
ahead.
anything about the humans that are manning the cannons?
Yes, what would you like to know? A description?
Yes, please.
So, these humans are professional soldiers. They are wearing black armor and dark red, brown, green, or black armor, depending on the piece. It looks a little bit like the Draconian scales, depending on which, Draconian you're looking at. They're obviously shorter than most of the Draconians, although they're just as tall as the Baz. They all have swords or some other weapon at their hip, and they are working as a smooth functioning unit.
Cool.
Except for the ones you just charred with Call Lightning.
They're all wearing metal armor.
That's why they all got fried. Pretty badly. Even the ones that didn't get hurt as badly got hurt pretty badly. Only one of them seems to be still able to function. And in other good news, the dire cheetah has sprinted away, and it looks like not a single arrow or spear has hit that cheetah.
How long has it been since either cannon fired? Are they firing at exactly the same time?
More or less. Where are you going, Ezra?
So how long I'm gonna try to get a gauge of how long it's been since the cannon's fired.
The one that was not attacked looked like it's just about ready to fire again.
I'm gonna stealthily creep toward it, but
Aren't you invisible?
yes. But in theory, someone could hear me or see my footsteps.
There's a lot of people around. Well, there's a lot of Draconians around and some humans.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move toward it. So I'm not, but I don't want to be directly in front of it until it fires. I'm gonna wait for it to fire, and I want to be essentially after it fires. I'm gonna position myself 150 feet in front of it, but 150 feet away toward the city.
Okay. It seems to be fired not by lighting any sort of actual fire, but the one of the 5 people manning the guns is some sort of spellcaster,
Okay.
and they touch the rune on the side, and they seem to activate some sort of magical ability, and then the projectile shoots out, and the runes light up like kind of explosively, and then a fire shoots out the end, and the ball is projected towards the walls.
Okay.
Demon cannons. Do you have dispel magic?
The dead crew, or the mostly dead crew, is hauled away, and then you see that 5 more human beings are being brought up from the back. you can't see what's over the other side of the hill, but from the other side of the hill, they bring forth 5 more crew members.
Okay. How is it being loaded?
They're putting some sort of, they're putting something in the front, and then they're putting the ball in the front.
Okay, they're putting something in the front. Can you describe what the thing in? Don't. That's metagaming. Okay. I'm gonna do this because this is what our plan was, even though it looks like it's not gonna work. So after they fire that round, with me 150 feet away from the front. Oh, I'll tell you what, Bill.
You got a wheel.
I'm
Like
gonna
what?
I'm gonna time this so that when they're getting ready to load those two things into the front, I am going to center my fireball on the cannon and lob a fireball. So I'm going to quicken that fireball as well. So it's a bonus action.
Okay, what's the radius of your fireball?
It is. And we might as well do this fireball at 4th level. Why not? It's a 20-foot radius centered on a point.
Oh, that last cannonball knocked another significant chunk of the wall down, FYI.
Yep.
So are they both hitting every time they fire now?
This last time only one fired because they temporarily took out the other one. But it hit, yes. Tell me about your fireball.
A
Tell
bright
me
streak
about your
flashes
fireball.
forth from your pointing finger to a point you choose within range and then blossoms with a low roar into an explosion of flame. Each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a dexterity saving throw.
So you're targeting the cannon on the right?
Yes. Yeah. The sphere is, basically centered on the front of the cannon. Actually, we'll just pick one of the wheels. We'll pick the nearest wheel, which is probably the one to my left.
Okay, so the right wheel of the left wagon, which for you...
The passenger side wheel.
Okay. Of the wagon on the left?
Of the one that has not been hit by a spell yet.
Okay, that's the wagon on your right.
Yeah.
Okay. God, that was a lot. All right, you're targeting that wheel. Okay, in a 20-foot radius, so you're not really going to hit the other one.
No, I'm just going to hit this one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
They have to make anyone who's in the radius has to make a dexterity 16 saving throw.
I'm going to say that because you're invisible and they have no warning of this thing being cast, that none of them are going to get a saving throw. Oh, wait, no, because the fireball shoots out of your hand, doesn't it? All right, yeah, we'll give him a saving throw. And one of them makes it.
So that I get +5 because of my draconic background, so it's a total of 38 damage to, I guess, the cannon, maybe, and anyone within 20 foot of a radius.
All right.
As I said, yep.
So this massive, roiling ball of flame flies from Ezra's fingertips towards this cannon, and everything is engulfed in this fire, except for one of the humans who miraculously manages to dive and roll down the hill.
They still take half damage, though.
Yeah.
Unless they have an ability that makes them take
They
no
do
damage.
not, but stop interrupting me. You're much more beautiful when you don't interrupt me. When the fire's clear, right, and there is like a smoke and char, you see that both the wheels have been blown off this thing. And this metal tube was resting, like it wasn't actually bolted to this wooden framework. It was resting on this wooden framework of the wheels. And this wooden framework is completely obliterated, and now this metal tube is sitting on the ground. However, now you're visible.
Yeah, so as I said, I quickened the spell, so that was a bonus action. I'm going to use yeah, I'm out in the open. I'm going to use my action to dash back toward the city. In theory, what am I like about 60 feet away from the nearest draconian? So that would end up putting me 110 feet away.
You started off, you fired from 160 feet?
150 feet away from the cannon.
Okay, so you are closer to 100 feet away from them, and you could
Uh,
dash another
50 feet
50
because
feet.
my walking speed is 25.
Okay.
And turn.
All right. They're going to start firing arrows at you. What's your armor class?
16.
All right. You take 11 damage as 2 arrows. One slices your left shoulder, and one hits you sort of square in the back of the thigh, but doesn't puncture all the way through what you're wearing,
Cool.
but enough to make you bleed. And now there's a howling horde of draconians after you.
Okay. Is it my action again?
Almost. There's one more thing. Let me see if this can hit you. Range 60 feet. Nope, can't hit you. Never mind. Yep, it's your turn again.
I am going to quicken an invisibility spell on myself. And then I will move. And are you gonna need me to hide once I'm invisible in order to like fall off of their radar?
I mean, you're never gonna fall off their radar, but as soon as you become invisible, they're not gonna be able to see you anymore. So,
So I guess what I'm well, do I need to take the hide action? Is sort of what I'm asking.
No, I don't. Where would you even hide out here? I guess you're in the middle of a field.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm quicken the invisibility and then I dash again, and I'm dashing basically. At this point, we'll now make it a diagonal to try to throw them off my trail. So diagonally to the north.
You're going north?
Yeah, so we're basically going to go for. I'm moving toward the corner where the wall meets the water.
That's still south. That's still southeast of where you are.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. You have effectively silenced one of the cannons. Well done, Azra. And you survived, taking very little damage. As you limp your way back to the city walls, and I assume make yourself visible at the gates again so you can be let in.
Sure.
It takes about that long for the remaining cannon to, sort of gear up and start firing again. Good news is this new crew once again has to resight and refine the range, so the first several shots miss. However, after about a half an hour, they start dinging again. Now there's only one cannon, still firing once every 5 minutes, but it's only one cannonball that's striking the city.
Is it in the same spot?
It really hasn't moved, no.
Okay.
With the full onset of day now, the hordes of draconians can be seen more clearly on the ridge by everyone. Claw-tipped wings stretched like smooth, dark leather and new sun. But there's surprisingly little movement despite all the things that have happened. The massive, hulking, armed brutes just watching and waiting. Their silent vigil as sure a sign of impending doom as ever there was.
Sorry, I meant when it's firing, is it hitting in the same spot?
Yes. Well, it hasn't hit yet, but yeah.
But But we're not moving our fire circle.
Nope, fire circle's the same.
Okay, cool. I am talking to Move Earth Druid about where they think the best, if covering a wider street is within their ability, or we should use that for a narrower street and then organizing a barricade on whichever street they don't choose.
I think
It's
it's
not
one
a
of the elf mages.
yeah, it's not one of the druids. It's one of the elves.
Sorry, the elf mage.
The elf mage says I can move the earth anywhere, but once I start, I can't stop until the job is done because I can't cast it again. So,
Okay.
like all the details of where you want this earth moved have to be told to me ahead of time.
So if Zerwin can hear me, I yell that the plan is to put a giant hole in the wider street and move all of the earth to the south side of that hole so that it's down and then way up as high as we can do, way deep, way tall, to block off the south street, because that's the biggest pass. And if Zerwin can't hear me, I just tell him to do it anyways.
Are you talking about making a hole there?
Oh Jesus. Yeah, maybe not that big. I'm more thinking deep with a giant wall of earth on the other side.
Kyle, I want to see if I'm hearing you right. So you might like, does it sound like you want the hole here?
No, I would
the
want the
earth.
whole. I mean, if I didn't understand that it was going to be that big. If it's that big, I would put it inside the wall, and then use the earth on either side of the hole to block off both of those streets as much as we can.
Like that?
But try move it into the west a little bit, so that we're actually covering like where the hole in the wall is going to be to a little bit. Yeah, see how we can get both streets covered. Move it west more, right there. So if you did that, then you have a giant wall to the south, and you can also move a bunch of earth into that small street. And so we don't need to build a barricade or anything. So that hole goes into a hole. When they climb out, they can only go north.
Right. So the hole would be right inside the wall.
Right inside the wall, and then
the
a
dirt would
giant
go.
wall over.
The dirt
Mostly
would go.
south.
The dirt would go where Dirk is, and then
Yep.
any dirt we could put in this road as well. So that the
Exactly.
only place for these people to go once the pit fills with dead draconians is north.
Is north, exactly.
Well, you're also going to collapse these buildings here, and probably this tower and this part of the wall.
Is that chaotic of a spell?
Well,
Like he doesn't have precision here.
I mean, you want him to dig a much smaller hole? He has a lot more precision than that.
Well, let me see if I can. Like if the hole can be, and I don't know if I can do this. If the hole can be like essentially the street, and then you can wall it off. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Because I want a giant hole just inside of where the hole in the wall is going to be, the break in the wall, and then I want earth on this east street and south street.
Something like this.
Okay.
So yes, we would collapse this building here.
Yeah, if it has to be a circle, then we'll do it that way. But yes,
collapse this building here. We build the pit here, and we block off this and this with the rubble and the dirt.
Right. I explained to him that the goal is to create a pit for people who are coming through the wall and block off those two streets as much as possible. That's our end goal, is to funnel them north.
So he says it's probably not a terrible idea to collapse that building because it'll be very difficult to move through, if not impossible.
Yeah.
But I can do you one a little bit better. I can dig a hole that doesn't look like a hole. So I can dig a hole from the side that will then leave a very thin roof that when it is stepped on, they will fall through.
Right.
That sounds great.
We're still going to need as much of that earth to block those streets, right? Because the first hole is a really good thing for us to have, but our primary, like what we have to have at the end of that is once that hole is full of, again, dead draconians, we need them to go north. If they go south or they go east, they're going to spread throughout the city and we're going to lose track of them. So the whole point is to get them to go north where we can defend the line by the lake.
Okay. So this thing will only be 40 feet. Like the maximum area is 40 feet. And then it will be 20 feet deep. It's going to have some very thin earthen pillars that hold up a very thin roof. So
Great.
that once it's stepped on, it will be collapsed. So yeah, that building is probably gonna collapse.
But
Great.
not
Can
until
we?
somebody steps on it.
No, the building's probably gonna collapse anyway when I'm digging this hole.
So can
Yeah.
we? Do we have anybody who can make it collapse into the road to the north?
It's gonna collapse into the hole, but it's gonna look like. The good news is they're firing cannonballs here.
It's
It's
going
gonna
to
look like it
cannon,
got hit
it.
by cannonballs. You'd have to be a sort of structural engineer to be like, this didn't fall properly to be struck by a cannonball.
Yeah, we can accept that. We can accept the building collapsing.
All right. Which means you in turn get a wall on the south that is about 18 feet of earth high.
Do
Does that
we
make
got
sense?
anything to the east?
I mean, if you look at the curve of that circle, of that white circle that you have, your wall is going to basically go like this. And that's how much earth you're going to be able to get out of it.
Okay. So I'm just going to organize as many
You said,
people
but
as I can.
you said it's 40 feet, right?
It's going to be, right, so it can be no longer than 40 feet. That's the absolute maximum range. So it
this
could be.
this is only 18 feet. This circle.
It's not. It's not proportional.
Okay.
No, that's closer to 40 feet.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to be organizing as many people as I can to make sure that that east street is barricaded. So before anybody goes anywhere, I'm going to move myself into the east street area. Yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay.
I run over to Owen. I ask Owen if he's got any support spells that can bolster a large group of people. You probably don't.
No.
All right. So is everyone but Dirk still on the wall? Ezra, are you going back to the wall?
Yeah. I will probably take the long way around so that I can be up on the north side of where the cannon has been hitting the wall.
Yeah, as it stands right now, Jana, who has 2 icons somehow, is going to be separated from the
Yeah,
rest of the group
sorry,
when that wall comes down.
I grabbed a different one by accident.
Somebody else should be up there. Can we send?
But also, if as you're digging, right, you realize now if this comes down, the only way to get back to the rest of the city is going to be to walk all the way down here. So anyone that's up here is going to be in some sort of fighting retreat until they can get back to the rest of the city. And keep in mind, your big choke point is going to be here afterwards. Okay, so as like this is happening, as the hole is being dug, and everyone's sort of overseeing it, the wall is struck again, and now there is a gap of about 10 to 12 feet in the wall. It struck the perfect spot on the bottom of 2 beams, and they completely blew out. So now there's a hole big enough to walk through, and they're continuing to fire. I'm not sure if anyone else wants to do anything. I can fast forward this a little bit until they make a hole.
I mean, we should definitely make sure that we have ordered as many archers as we can. Zorwin, did you already do that?
So no, we need to get some of the city folk here
Mhm.
on this street. We will have some on this side of the wall. I guess can people hear? Let me. Can people hear fire onto the hole in the wall, or is that angle not going to be enough?
They'll be able to fire into the pit, but they won't be able to fire into the wall itself.
Right, but they'll be able to fire into this area.
Sure.
So we need archers here. We need townsfolk here,
Mhm.
right? And I think what we do is we put the barbarians up here with Ezra and Janna, in on the ground floor, not up on the walls. They're going to be the ones that they're going to have to fight through until we get to this choke point.
Do we
I-
want anyone on the walls up there?
On this side, well,
Owen and Geldis, make a perception roll, please.
yeah, I mean, we're going to get attacked from a different angle here too, I'm sure. But
Nope.
Got an 18.
Okay, Geldis. You are like, you're in the southernmost person on the wall right now, and there's, as you're like sort of scanning the surrounding area and the wall, something like sort of catches your eye to your left, and then further down the wall, there's like there's a sizzling sound and the smell of burning ozone as an arch-topped door pops into existence right near the wall on the inside of the city. Blue and white light burst forth from it, and then shortly after, an orange-green draconian. In its hand, it holds a long-hafted, arrow-pointed trident that crackles with electricity. It roars as it steps forth, its curved, sharpened horns casting wicked shadows on the ground in front of it, until the door behind it snaps shut. And then it bursts into action, diving on a couple of very surprised townspeople and tearing them to shreds. But now you can act if you would like.
And so
This
that's
was like a
down.
planar door.
That sounds like a metagaming question to me. I just described the door to you.
Is he
Would you
down?
describe it? Would you say exactly what you said about the door again? This is in part for the notes.
who is this?
An arch-topped door pops into existence near the wall. Blue and white light burst forth from it, and then shortly after, an orange-green draconian.
Geldis, do you let us know that this is happening, or is it obvious now that it appeared to all the rest of us?
Is he down here? This
Yes.
is where it was.
Yes,
Okay.
Geldis. He's like almost directly below you, like a little closer to you. Yeah, closer to that.
Okay.
And it doesn't really make any sound except for the screams of the townspeople as they are torn to shreds by this draconian. But
All
yeah,
right. I would probably yell out to Owen, since Owen's standing right there. There's a draconian in the town, and then
Fuck.
jump and attack the. Actually, how tall is this wall?
40 feet.
Ooh. Is there a quick way down?
Both the towers to your north and south have stairs.
I guess I'm running north then to try to get down.
You're
Okay.
gonna end up in the pit then, I think. Oh no, the pit's a little north of that even.
Yeah, so run this way and then get down this way to try to come off here.
Bill, I would like to run and I would like to drop on this guy with all my weight and my sword.
All right. That's bold. I need you to make an athletics check.
Okay. 13.
Yeah, let me make a...
I'm willing to take damage for this, but I want to hit him.
Okay.
Or I want to have the attempt to make a swipe at him with my attack roll.
Yeah.
If I see Owen jumping, I'm going to jump too.
No! Oh wait, you can fly.
Okay. Yeah. You're going to land not directly on top of him, but close enough that you can smash it with a sword.
Okay, how much bludgeoning damage do I take from falling?
I have no idea. I'll figure that out.
So it's like it'll be like 3d6 or something.
So Galadis, you had started running. Did you stop and then jump off after him? Is that what you did?
Yep.
You take 5 damage. It's not that bad. I could have rolled worse.
Okay.
I'm a-
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, if I'm following Owen, I'm gonna pray to my god and cast guidance on myself as well.
We have people
And then what was it? Acrobatics or athletics to jump down?
athletics. We have people literally jumping off walls now.
Sounded like a good idea. Owen did it.
If Owen jumped off a damn it.
Oh, and I get an extra
All your
D4 on
friends
that
jumped
for
off a
guidance.
bridge with you too.
So the thing is you're gonna be going after Owen because it's a reaction, right? So yes, you're gonna land much closer. Owen is
I got a nat 1 for my first attack. Because of course I did.
This is a danger awesome points moment if ever there was one.
And a 26 on my second attack.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Also, never mind.
You may roll damage. And
Okay, I'm gonna
Galadis,
burn I'll burn 1 spell slot for a smite into this.
Galadis, you can roll to attack also if you want to physically.
Oh no, I'm not gonna attack physically. I don't
Okay.
do that.
I don't do that sort of thing.
No, I cast spells. That's what I do.
22 points of damage to this piece of shit.
Yeah,
Get him, Owen.
you did get him.
So maybe
Okay.
if I could be a human missile and just hit him and use my shield and just hit him with that. Be willing to do that.
Okay, Galadis, you take 13 points of falling damage. I rolled a lot better.
Where are our
Worth it.
barbarians right now?
You can land right on top of him if you'd like, Galadis, because you rolled so well for your athletics. You want to just smash him to pieces? Because then he'll take an equal amount of damage that you took in your falling damage. So he'll take 13 falling damage.
I'll do that. Use my
Sure, when I
shield
can
to-
only see one, he's right here.
Okay, so yeah, its scales and flesh immediately shrivel away, and then its bones explode. You can both make
Well
a
done.
dex save.
Remember, you get a +4 because you're my friend.
Yay. Didn't matter.
I got 11. Woohoo!
I get a
Do you
combined.
get +4?
Yeah, it's already factored in for me.
So
Oh.
you, Owen, only take 4 points of damage, and Galadis, you take 9.
All right, and what kind of damage is that?
That is force damage.
Okay, I take 9.
How hurt are you?
I've taken over 20 damage. I'm bleeding. I get some cuts, some bruises.
Now you bleeding? Yeah, you bleeding. All right, let's.
I'm gonna reach over and touch you. Take it all back.
So plus 20.
Yep.
Thanks, Owen. You're a pal.
This sucks.
Yeah, if they're gonna explode on us every time.
I know. Makes me next to useless.
We need a better plan than jumping off the wall on them next
It
time.
was a great plan. It was a fantastic plan. See, he's dead. Plan successful.
Did you see how he got in?
No. I
So
honestly, I was scratching my ass at that point.
some sort of doorway opened and he stepped out.
Like
15 minutes till
what,
dice giveaway.
I guess.
what the
kinda
ogres can do.
like similar. Probably not the same.
I don't like it. If they can just appear in the middle of town, then what was the point of all this?
Zerwin, I think that you had said you wanted the barbarians to be up along the lake on the north side.
Yeah, I just don't know where they are. We need to put something somewhere for them. These can be the barbarians.
Yeah, maybe that one, the one with the smiley face. I like that. I'll work on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout up to Zerwin to tell him what just happened.
Huh?
One of the fuckers came in through some magical gate.
Just one?
Yeah, but if they can do that, we don't know how many can do that. It's
No.
dead. It exploded.
Good
Now
job.
that you mention it, there are screams coming from inside, deeper into the city.
Jesus.
Also, yeah, there's a commotion. I'm just going to show you on the map. Sorry, that was the pointer. So here we go. There is definitely something happening right in the town square. There's something happening right in front of the fortress. There is definitely a commotion happening in front of the gate. There's a commotion happening in front of this gate. And then there is a commotion happening near this gate.
Can I hear any of these screams? Commotions?
Yeah, probably. You can definitely hear shit going on in the town.
So, and
I'll start.
we had guards at all the gates, right?
You do indeed.
I start running towards the sound.
Um. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Should
gonna head
we
down
head
to
south?
the. I'm gonna
Is where
go south to
closest?
the gate.
You guys are going south.
Yeah, so right here.
Okay. Just gonna move you guys down there. Dirk, where are you going?
Well, that's kind of a Bill question. I am going towards the closest screams that I hear because I hear screams.
Either in
Probably
the
the town
middle,
center.
yeah, either the town square or right in front of the fortress.
So yeah, I'll just run down that street that I'm on, and I guess I'll probably end up towards the town center.
It's nice and quiet up here on the north side. I don't even know any of this is going on.
Can Ezra and I communicate from this far away, or are we too far away to yell?
No, you're like 150 feet.
All right.
Yell.
And Jana, are you on the wall?
I'm still on the wall.
All right. So I'm gonna tell Ezra to have the barbarians send out a party to. So Ezra, communicate this to the barbarians. Tell them to send out a small force to the fortress, and a small force to the wine gate. And we need to get somebody down. Who's the fastest person we have?
Probably all the centaurs.
Where the fuck are the centaurs right now? Let's get a
There's
thing for them.
around.
All right, we're gonna send the centaurs to Dawnreach. Our signs are still out in the woods. What do we got from them, William? Assuming that they're sending back, somebody on a semi-regular basis, twice a day.
It's only been like an hour and a half, so you haven't heard anything from him.
Who the fuck is this? We gotta clean this goddamn map up, guys.
Who the fuck are the Knutsons?
All right.
Hey, what are you doing with my Draconian? Leave my Draconian alone.
Oh,
Which one is your draconian?
you had him on the tower? That's where you just had him. All right.
Are we not? Are we supposed to be able to see him?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of the barbarians, Zach, do you want me to disperse?
Tell me again how many we have. 500 of them.
500.
Have them send 15 to the fortress, 15 to Winegate.
Okay.
All the centaurs are going to Dawnreach. Black locust eaters, are they still out in the woods?
Yeah, black locust eaters are not inside the walls.
Yeah, they're out in the woods with the ursines. So who do we have left here?
Inside the city, you have centaurs, you have free folk, and you have townspeople.
And are you considering the townspeople the same thing as the soldiers?
Yes. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Like, are we? So I'm just trying to differentiate how. Like, I know we had many less soldiers than we did townsfolk, but
No,
you
you had like town guard that have
Mhm.
been better trained. They're now captains of squads of townsfolk
all
who
right.
either have spears and short swords or they have bows and short swords.
All right, so I tell one of the captains to take a squad to the town center. And the problem is we don't know what's down there. I guess I'm just making an assumption that since only one came through the gate, that there's not going to be hundreds of them.
Dirk, where'd Dirk go?
He's right here.
Dirk.
You said the squad with one of the captains was also going to the town center.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dirk.
I'm just gonna have him approach
Yes.
from the south.
Dirk.
Yes.
Mistress Sleeps a Lot comes running towards you.
Yeah, I knew she was gonna.
Human,
So,
human dragon thing.
yeah. Hey. Oh.
I
My
was
God.
taking a nap in the
I
mines,
believe it.
curled
Yeah.
up, peaceful, minding my own business, waiting
Yeah.
for Mouse to drop by, or perhaps Savole, or some
Really
other
set the
delicious
scene.
street. And then there was a strange smell, and a strange door with a bright light popped open, and
Yeah.
half a dozen of the evil dragon human things came through half a dozen different gates.
Half a dozen different gates. Great. Did you see which direction? Yes.
They did not leave the mines. They're still inside.
They're still inside. They weren't moving. They weren't going anywhere.
I did not stop to see. Human
Okay.
dragon things will eat a cat if they get a chance.
And what section of the mines? Just real quick. Under what part of the city?
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Was it near? Like, if you went right down from right here, would it be far from here?
You're not anywhere near the mine's entrance right now, so she's like looks confused and is like, no, no, I am hungry.
Okay. Cool.
No one has
That's.
fed me all day. I
Do
mean,
I have any?
I got fed this morning, but I mean, I haven't been fed since then, and it's been
Yeah.
almost an
No.
eternity.
That sounds bad. Out of game, do I have any jerky on me or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her something and be like, "Thank you so much. That's amazing. Please keep letting us know things are getting bad and we need your help."
She takes the jerky and starts chewing it up, and then pads off.
Oh, real quick before she goes, I go, "If you can find the purple-haired dwarf and annoy him at the legs and stuff, do that because that's my only way to pass a message right now."
Okay.
Ezra, I sent. Can you make another? No. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I sent the other 15 barbarians to the wine gate.
I'm sorry. I thought I put them in
No,
the.
you're good.
Yeah, you're right. You did send them there.
So, all right, I can have Dirk and Gelidus and Owen all make a perception check.
Yeah, hold on. Ezra, we're sending 15 more down to the Copper Road as well.
Okay. What do you want the cousins to do?
Nothing yet.
Gelidus, you notice that these draconians have some sort of little vial. Actually, it's not that small. Some sort of glass vial strapped to their waistbands. And inside is some sort of viscous liquid. Also, because you're more familiar, you and Owen are more familiar, you'll note that these are all Boz dragons.
Those are the ones that explode when they die.
No. Well, when the draconian reaches its body turns into a stone and releases a petrifying gas. So not
Oh, okay.
really.
They have a viscous liquid in a vial on in their belt. Their fanny packs.
Yeah. Draconian fanny packs. Okay. What's your general plan as you burst in? Dirk, you see that there are 2 draconians in the center of the town. Gelidus and Owen, you see that there are 3 draconians near the gate. And what's your plan of attack here? Are you just going to roll initiative and dive right into them?
Do I get a surprise attack?
No.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
I mean, they're already engaged by like shredding, unprepared like townsfolk who are just like, I'm going to go get a drink from the well, and because that's a well, that black dot in the middle of the town. Like, I'm thirsty, and now they're like bloodthirsty, snarling draconian literally appeared out of nowhere and is now eating
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in there.
Okay, Owen.
Yep, me too.
All right.
Should we roll initiative or?
When they see who is jumping in with them, yes, you should all roll initiative. But I will tell you right
All of
now.
us?
Oh, that was poor. Oh, I just rolled a 1 and then I rolled a 20. That's my roll. Pretty average. The first thing they do when they see who is attacking them is reach for these vials on their belts. And that is where we're going to take a quick break.
Just to
As
clarify,
you
you do want all of us to roll initiative, even those of
No.
us that are up on the walls?
No, that
Sorry,
doesn't-
I just...
No.
Okay.
No, only the people
that's
who
why
are
I asked.
diving into combat are rolling initiative.
Sweet. Blissfully unaware. Up on the walls, under cannon fire.
They're gonna throw these vials at us. It's gonna be fun.
So what did you all roll for initiative?
18.
18?
14.
14?
3.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's take a break. I'm going to give out a set of dice to the viewers. Where'd that dice set go?
BRB.
All right.
BRB.
Everybody who is in chat, just to iterate here, these are the dice we have to give away today. They are like, blue and orange, and it's just a standard data set of 7 dice, and they come with a pretty handy little pouch that has a little drawstring. If you would like to enter into the raffle for the dice bag, please indicate so in chat now. All right, I see the real Foxy Proxy would like some dice. Anyone else? What happened to the shenanigan? Okay. Do you want to enter into the dice raffle? Okay, I need to know how many there are. I need to see some names there so I can figure out what dice to roll. What about anybody else? Did the banana leave? The banana one maybe is gone. Did they check out? Cameron, Tenzin, Will, Nick, Connor, George, Amara, Todd, Aaron. I need to get you guys to turn on more than one device. Very good. Hello, Shenanigang. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blue Jay Leah said she's not entering. Is it just 10 tonight? I'm going to give it one more second. One more minute, I should say, to see if anybody else logs on. Okay, so I have rolled an 8, which means we have Foxy is 1, Cameron's 2, Tenzin 3, Will is 4, Nick is 5, Connor is 6, George is 7, Amara is 8. Amara, congratulations. You have won the dice. Make sure.
Zach, did
Make
you
sure
say
you
there
have
were
a way to
3
get it from
groups
me.
of 15 barbarians? I'm redoing my math.
Yes.
Okay.
I also am going to grab another captain of the town's guard and have him send reliable runners everywhere that we have sent people to report back to what's going on.
So it's actually 423 up there. 423 barbarians up top.
They have a watch party, Foxy Proxy, and they all hang out in there. Where are you guys? Actually,
So
don't
the
tell me. I don't want to know.
druids.
They're all in a big room viewing and knitting together. Or is it crocheting? Speaking of which, make sure you
And one
keep up with the
minotaur.
crochet art channel.
Do you just want to say that like you've been divvying up the druids? I don't know, like 2 druids in each of these groups of 15?
I don't think we can send one apiece and keep druids back.
Okay.
We don't. You said Marbotum told me that we don't want to show everyone our forces. So
So the cousins are being held back.
yeah, because they're shock troops. I don't.
I'm gonna go grab more water. I'll be right back.
They're also like they're short, so they're not like great runners. So I don't really want to. Once they go somewhere, they're going to need to be doing something. So I don't want to. If these are just, information gathering attacks, you know what I mean? I'm trying to hold back as much as I think we can.
Do you have a spot in the city that you want me to put them, just so that I...
Somewhere where I can get a hold of them. I mean, everybody ran out to the wall essentially when this started, so I assume that we have.
I'll put them kind of. So here they are. They're behind the one of the embankments, so you can call out to them, and they should be able to hear you.
Yep, and I'm like I said, I'm sending a runner, to the fortress, to the town center, into each gate.
I'm trying to see if there are any other groups that we want identified. I'm guessing the 42 Wonder Guards are just kind of distributed around. And
Well,
the same
they're
with
the captains now. So each of them has got a squad of 10 to 15 townsfolk.
Okay, makes sense.
So that's why I grabbed just one of those towns guard and said, "Get me runners to each of these places that, you're sturdiest." And I tell them specifically to find captains to get information and bring it back.
Do you want me to make more than just one of those?
What?
Like those squads?
It's too much.
Yeah.
We'll try to remember.
Okay.
All right. We have returned, and someone rolled well on their initiative. Was that you, Galdus?
He is necessary.
Yeah, I rolled an 18.
What would you like to do?
So there's 3 draconians in front of me.
Yes, they are. Currently, they were engaged in, like, when they popped through the door, they immediately leapt on sort of like unaware people, and then they saw like everyone start to react, and so now they've like dropped 3 dead bodies and are gearing up to a fight? Question mark.
All right, I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians, get that up and going. So I will cast it as a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
And then I will walk towards them.
All right. All 3 of them, because both Owen and Dirk rolled poorly for initiative. All 3 of them take out their little bottles and they uncork them and douse themselves in some sort of viscous liquid. And then
So remember, when their turn goes off, that's when they have to make a save against my Spirit Guardians.
they're going to take damage, right?
Yeah, so they got to make a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
It's not going to matter because they're all going to die. What happens is another one of them, all 3 of them pull out their things and douse themselves, and then there is some sort of spark, and all 3 of them burst into flames. And everything in this immediate vicinity is embroiled in this, like it's just fire, which means you also. However, you get to make a dex save. They're basically suicide bombs is what they are.
Oh, awesome.
You can make a dex save at Gelidus.
That one.
Nice.
Do
You
I need
said
to
it was
make
fire?
one too?
No, you're outside the gate apparently.
No, he was inside.
Who put him there?
Now he's inside.
That's cool. Do I need to make one, Bill?
Yes,
You said it was fire damage.
it is.
I will use my reaction to cast absorb elements.
Okay. So does that
So-
absorb all of it?
No, I have resistance, so it'll cut the damage in half.
So you take 6 fire damage. Owen, did you make your check?
I got a 16. Is that enough?
Yes, it is.
So I take 8 fire damage.
Nope. You will also take 6 fire damage. All right. Dirk, same thing for you. As this suicide bomb goes off, you need to make a dex save.
Please. 14.
That'll be enough, and you will only take 4 fire damage. However, several of the surrounding buildings have caught fire, and now there is something of an emergency as everyone is struggling to get water out.
I have resistance to fire. Does that matter here?
Yes, it does. You will only take 2 fire damage.
Cool.
Dirk, you're near a well, so a bucket brigade can start pretty easily. But Gelidus and Owen, you're a little bit farther away, and you realize suddenly that if there are other ones doing this around town, you might have a fire problem in the City of Wonder. On top of that, the hole, going back to Zerwin, Azra, and Janna, the hole in the wall is now complete, question mark. It's about 40 feet wide. Whoops, I didn't mean to move that. Damn it. Anyway, and the cannon stops firing as the wall collapses and just about 40 feet wide.
Is it the correct? Are you're still kind of working on resizing it and everything?
No, it's fine.
All right.
The good news is the hole is also finished being dug. So small fires have sprung up. One near the fortress, which luckily enough is easy to the water, like close to the water. The real problem is going to be the one at the Copper Road Gate and the one at the Dawn Reach Gate.
Is there any sort of container that we could use that's in the area?
Yeah. So the good news is near the gates there are water troughs for horses.
Okay. Is there currently water in the water troughs?
Yeah, they're not full, but there is some.
Okay. So if we can get a bucket brigade going to put the water out, I will cast create water and create 10 gallons worth of water to fill them back up.
Okay. You can do that. Okay. Here's the general effect of all the things that are happening. There is chaos. There is fear. There are all of these small attacks, and at most, 15 people died. Sorry. But it seems like the townspeople especially hear chaos and screams coming from all directions, and they're scared. And there's no way to know where the next attack is going to come from. On top of that, word is getting around that there is a hole in the wall, and people aren't sure what the plan is. There's a lot of morale damage right now.
I don't know what the fucking problems are. I sent runners out. I have gotten no information. I'm literally sitting on top of the tower watching the hole get bigger.
Hole is done. Firing is stopped. You get word that there have been some fires in the city and surprise attacks from Draconians. You also get word back from the Black Locust Eaters who have sent scouts out, who say there is approximately 100 humans accompanying the Draconians. They seem to have only one function, which is to man that weird magical boomstick. In addition to that, there is no there's no weather coming, there's no sign of reinforcements anywhere, and the army is just the Draconian army is just standing. And it's gone really quiet.
Okay, so you're saying the fires at the fortress are under control. Dirk's fires, like I guess I don't know what the extent of the fires are.
It's trickling back to you a few minutes at a time. There were fires. Doesn't seem to be catastrophic.
Are they all put out?
Question mark. The one Geldis and Owen and Dirk have all put out their fires.
Okay. Somebody sent a run to the Centaurs, find out what's going on. I assume that there's fires at both the Wine Gate and Dawnreach. The Centaurs are going to be the fastest. They can be runners with water if they need to be. Back to the well. Dirk, what are you doing?
I'm trying to rally the people who are in this area and calm down any chaos. And then sort of, excuse me, probably see if I can find somebody who can help me with the mine situation, or at least communicate the problem.
Is there a mine situation, Dirk?
Yeah, there's a mine situation in that a bunch of these suicide bomb draconians entered in through the mines.
Well, hold on. Because right now Ezra is north on the wall and you are in the city center. So you can't just say that to each other. That's metagaming.
I'm not saying that to Ezra in the game.
I thought that Dirk had probably come up to talk to Zerwin, and I can hear Zerwin.
That you got to move your characters if you're gonna move. I can't just assume that you're one place or another. Like, placement is important here.
I didn't anything. I was just responding to a player.
Yeah, no. I'm saying to Ezra, like, everyone's got to move their characters if anybody's moving anywhere.
Yeah. No, what I'm mostly doing is, since these fires are out, I'm trying to rally these people, and since we have access to water, probably trying to coordinate getting water to places that need to get more fire out. So, like, lining up more brigades that go further. And I don't know if the cat has approached Zerwin, if Miss Sleeps a Lot has done this, has bothered him at the legs. But I will most
Yes.
likely at some
This
point.
cat has been bothering me at the legs, but I don't know what the fuck it wants.
No, it communicate. I told you earlier, this happened in downtime, that if a cat bothers you, that means that there are draconians in the mines.
I don't remember that.
It's okay. It happened in downtime. I think that our DM can confirm that I did communicate that to you before.
I also think it's pretty reasonable that Zerwin doesn't remember. There's a cat pestering his feet, and he's like, "What the fuck is this about?"
Oh, come on. God damn it.
He's
It's
got
the
a
heat
lot
of
on his
battle.
mind right now. He's
Yeah, heat of battle makes sense.
He's coordinating a lot of people.
Gelidus, what are you guys doing? Are you staying down there?
I mean, we should help put out the fires if we can. Organize a bucket brigade. So
So the firing has stopped. There's a hole in the wall, but the Draconian army is not moving.
That's correct.
The Black Locust Eaters have said that they're not moving, and that the humans look like they're specifically there to man those cannons. It's all good information. So I'm literally waiting to hear back from my captains. I need runners, and I need to know what they're doing.
Yeah, we don't know what to do, so we're just gonna stay put.
If there is a fast person around me, someone who looks like they're fast, I will send them. I will tell them to run and tell Zerwin that there
Well,
are.
I did send
suicide
runners
bombers.
to find my captain, so somebody should have found you.
I send them back saying we're putting out fires and there's stuff in the mines.
Okay.
I approve of this message.
All right. So let's send the cousins to the mines. There is, right, if I recall, there is only one entrance to the mines unless they're going to use another one of their doors, right?
It looks like it's on the northeast side of the fortress, so
Yeah.
I will put the cousins there.
Yes. But I'm asking, that's the only entrance we know of to the mines, right?
That's
Best
correct.
of my knowledge. Okay. I want them manning the mines.
Do you want them just at the entrance, or?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if they got in there through a portal, I have concerns that they could exit through a portal, and I'd rather catch them while they're trying to be tricky than let them know we know.
They're gonna storm the mines.
I
got a bus.
I asked Marbrotum, you got any advice for, rallying these people? At this point, we are spread out all over town, and I'm not sure how to, effectively rally people when they're not all together.
Tactics, strategy, logistics, but not so much into cheering people. I have captains for that. So do you, for that matter.
You don't say. All right.
Send your silver-tongued people to rally.
Oh no.
Think to myself.
Zerwin, do you want Jana and I to stay on the walls? It looks like there's nothing for us to do here right now.
No, you guys should go and rally folks. Somebody run over and grab, what's the barbarian woman's name? The Free People's, or
Belga.
Get Belga. She's scary as hell. Maybe we can scare some of these scared people back into fighting for us.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the kind of the Wonder Guards and the militia are spread all throughout the city, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Ezra's gonna run through the streets, cheering that this is our day. We will be victorious. We're gonna
Hold on.
rally and
Before you go, the message you should be saying is they're scared. We've already fought off their first attacks. In fact, they're so scared they're committing suicide.
yeah. Look around you. The Draconians are so defeated that they're launching these suicide attacks. This is where we make our stand. This is our city. Things of that nature.
First-rate propagandists, right there. They're so scared they're killing themselves.
This is what we've been working for the last 7 days.
You want to make me some charisma roll? I'm gonna make a charisma roll here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm guessing persuasion.
Yeah.
Is anybody with me? No.
You just said you were gonna run through the streets yelling.
Okay, I'm doing it alone. That's a 21.
Okay. I have a little morale calculator.
God, you're a charismatic little bastard, aren't you?
He is. People like him. Look at him. Look at his face.
I have a goatee that gives me +2.
It's his unassuming 8-inch back.
I assume Belga's laughing the entire time as she runs along with me. Look at little man. Look at little baby. He yells so loud.
She's just yelling, like, when you say they're killing themselves, she's just yelling things like, pussies! She's just fucking being completely vulgar.
Belga's not running anywhere. She's not big into running.
Well, in theory,
Belga will slowly stroll, and her free people are probably the least intimidated people. So really, it's the townsfolk, it's the militia, it's the guard.
Well,
They're
no,
really
that's what
suffering.
I wanted. I wanted Belga to go around with Ezra, like to either scare people or.
Here, allow me to move my character. This is me running
I
through
will
the
go,
streets.
but I am not running to tell people to not be afraid, like little wussy people.
To be fair, she wouldn't actually have to run if Ezra was running. She could walk at a brisk pace,
Yeah,
and she
power
would
walk.
really be using intimidation and not persuasion or.
Yeah, I will run. I mean, I have to go kind of along the north side here, but then I'll go down toward city center, where I assume is probably where people would be retreating there, and or the fortress. So I'll move up toward the fortress.
So as Ezra runs around cheering people and telling them how great things are going to be, and then like not too far behind him, Belga occasionally stops by and goes, "You, why aren't you picking up sword and fighting? Stand up or I'll break your kneecaps."
That's what I'm looking for. A little good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, that's a little good cop, bad cop.
Soft force, hard force. That's right. I'm the soft force.
Jana, you're muted if you want to say something.
One of the downtime things we did was poison caltrops. Can I make sure that those are all I'm gonna do my best to make sure that those are all deployed in front of the hole in the wall. And then if Zerwin doesn't have other instructions for me, I'm gonna go try to be helpful in the city.
You want to go help clear the mines?
Go.
Yeah, I can go to the mines.
And then I'm going to send also word to all the guards. I assume we have guards at every tower. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes.
I want to know if people are seeing anything on the east side of town or the south side of town.
They are not.
Nobody's seeing anything?
No.
All right. Then I would love, once everyone does their rounds, fires are put out, I'd love everyone to get back to the main tower here, so we can chat. And I want Dorna, I want Belga, I want a representative from the Centaurs. What time of day is it?
It's now just about midday.
What's our food situation? We haven't really talked about that, or is that not really?
Yeah, no, we did talk about it a little bit. Your food's good and your water's good.
Okay.
Food and water are good.
We got to make sure everyone's, staying hydrated. Everyone should have clear pee per Buzz Adams. And let's get some rations out to folks. It's midday. Some people have had some hard fightings. The other thing, I'm not real good with this stuff, but anybody have any suggestions on what we should be doing with our dead? I know none of us are chaotic or evil aligned, so my guess is none of you have necromancy spells.
And several of the corpses are either like badly mangled or chewed or dismembered.
We need to get them out of sight, is what I'm saying.
Cool.
Should we build a pyre?
I don't think we want to do
Not more fire in the city right now.
No, we definitely want fire in the city. Should we poison our own well and just throw the dead bodies down there? What do you guys think of that? No? Okay.
We can move them inside the fortress. We can,
or at least inside the buildings. We don't know when the next attack's going to come. Just get them out of the fighting areas. Gelidus, what's the local? What do they do with the dead on Kryn? Do we know?
It depends on the race. Depends on the area.
Maybe we put our Minotaur on that. She's not doing anything
actually,
right now unless she's
s-
cooking.
send a runner to Folus. Ask him
Ask him what.
what the tradition is for, preparing the dead. Like, do they bury them? Do they burn them? Do they send them out to sea?
Well, they don't send them out to sea, but most people prefer to be buried. There's a cemetery outside of town.
Let's get on it.
Occasionally they want to be cremated. Probably 20% of the population has to be just burned and have their ashes spread places.
All right. Well, I think short term we just need to get them off of the roads and out of, we need to get them away from our other people so they're not terrified.
As the day, as the sun really hits its zenith, and the town of Wonder sort of fully sees the extent of the army in front of you, and the sun advantage was previously in your favor, right? Because they were facing southeast, where the sun was more or less rising, and now the sun is directly overhead, so there's no more sun advantage. And there are just to give you a scope, at any given time you can see roughly 1,000 draconians, and they are creepily, eerily still and quiet. Now that the cannons have stopped firing, it seems like there is very little noise. You get some runners back from the Black Locust Eaters that say there's no movement, that it looks like they're just staring off into nothing.
Toward us?
Towards the city of Wonder, yeah. Or the town of Wonder. Back in the mines with Jana and the cousins, the problem for Jana is I don't think you have dark vision, do you?
I don't.
Yeah. So the cousins go in, but most of them do have dark vision.
Yeah.
So there's Dorna, Furbeck, Berta, Willie Bloodfang, Harg the Madman, of course. Actually, no, Willie Bloodfang went to go find the other dwarves.
That's true.
There's Rose Chairbreaker, there's Render Renz, Teely and Cariel, Valden, Lisa Halfhead. There's a bunch of them that go in. It's probably 25 of the cousins who go in, and it's all the big names. There is noise of combat, and then there is an explosion of fire. It's not like a concussive explosion as much as it is a fireball that comes roaring out the front. And then it's quiet.
Are the rest of the cousins there at the entrance to the mine? Again, I know I'm not there. I'm just asking for clarity's sake.
Yeah, all the cousins are there. The ones that.
Oh, wait, why'd they go in? I told them not to go in.
You told me. I very specifically asked this, and I thought you said yes.
No, I said I don't want to give our hand away. They don't know that we know they're down there.
Oh.
Impetus, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't control them.
So a bunch of the cousins went in, and all we've seen come back is a fireball?
Yeah. After a couple moments of silence, they sort of stumble out, charred and bloody. All of them are wounded.
But alive.
But alive.
Okay. What happened in there?
A fight, and then some sort of big fire. They're all
Fantastic.
coughing and charred. And no dwarven clerics yet to heal them. So they're all brought to the infirmary in the fortress. About 25 of the cousins are now in the infirmary in the fortress.
Okay. I was there when we had the conversation about the cats, right? I'm privy to the downtime knowledge about the cats.
Yeah.
All right. So, but they don't know to talk to me. Okay.
They had some sort of vials. I don't know. It was unexpected. They all went up at once. They're
Is there
all
anything
dead now.
is there anything I can do that would construct a trap at the door of the mine?
You could put some of the cow traps down. You could, you could get some guards posted to raise an
Yeah.
alarm.
Okay. I'll do that.
All right. Okay. Everyone in the city is, you haven't had that many losses yet. A couple dozen here, a couple dozen there. The wounded are starting to pile up in the infirmary, and those particular cousins were all the sort of personality leaders, which means the rest of the cousins, with the exception of Willie Bloodfang, are somewhat leaderless, question mark. They'll be looking to Zerwin for orders. And
So we need to keep eyes on the mine in case there's another, thing down there.
So we've got guards posted there.
And we've got guards at all the gates.
the day
Where should
wears
we-
on.
I was going to ask where we want to move the cousins. Do we want them to stay there?
No, I mean they're going to come back to me anyway.
You got it.
Did the Black Locust eaters see what's over the hill at all when they were scouting?
Yes,
what's past?
it's about 100 humans who seem to
And that's
be.
it?
That's it.
And nothing from the Ursines yet. I mean, I guess they can't, because they're the Draconians are not in the woods, right, at all.
That's right. The Draconians are specifically avoiding the trees.
But in theory, we could. The Ursines and the Black Locust Eaters could get behind them, right?
Not really. I mean, the forest doesn't go behind them, right?
So the forest goes like this, and they're up here.
Yeah, so the forest comes from like here and goes this way.
And there's more forest on the north side by the lake, correct?
Yeah, there's
just a
this
strip
lake
of-
is big, but it's so the way that this valley formed, like there's no trees right on either side of the lake here and here, but then there's forest up here. And then this was all farmed, right? So the Copper Road was sort of like the way there. So this is more of the southern part of the valley, which gets more sun, right, and has more fertile soil. So there's a lot more farms here, and then also, not that you really care, but also down south, this direction are farms. And then all of this is forest, and then there's sort of like a thin, like, I don't know, not that thin, but this would all be forest here.
If it's that quiet, I think I'd put Ezra. Where did I put Ezra? Oh, I put Ezra back on the north side of the hole. They might be waiting for Rhymeroth to show up. I'll tell you what, he's gonna actually go around to where Zerwin is. Hey, what if they're waiting for Rhymeroth to show up?
Yeah. What does that change?
Just means that we have to deal with a dragon in addition to all the Draconians.
Yeah, we were going to have to do that anyway. That was the original.
And we haven't heard any sign from the northeast portion of the town that they can see the dwarven soldiers approaching.
Nope.
And
hopefully they wouldn't anyway, because we told them to go around the lake.
Well, we would be able to see them though.
There are woods on the other side of the lake.
Okay, yeah, I guess you might be right. I would think that we would be able to see them from the towers, because the towers are probably taller than a lot of the trees.
I don't know. I can't tell with this map.
I mean, I did the best I could with a map. It looks like a
No,
pretty
I
fucking
know
good
it's not.
map.
I'm not
It's a
saying it's your fault.
beautiful map.
So I mean, you could tell us this is your world. If would we be able to see the dwarves if we told them to circle around the north side of the lake to come up behind the draconians?
No.
No.
Okay, very good.
But I mean, in theory, the black locust eaters may be able to see it, from their angle if they. But
Yeah.
there's nothing there yet.
Yeah, the dwarves are breathing so loudly. Yada yada.
That tracks.
I also don't think we want them to show up quite yet. I don't know that would be great for us.
So,
Because we think there's another 1,000 draconians somewhere.
Maybe.
why would you think that?
Because we thought that there were upwards of 2,000 draconians in Rymaroth's army.
And we only saw about 1,500.
And we've
at-
seen
at
about
dawn.
1,500 of them. There's another force somewhere, possibly.
I mean, we've been
Unless
killing
our
off
initial-
draconians for the last week here and there, though. So
You personally are responsible as a group with the black locust eaters and the other small skirmishes you've had for the death of more than 200 draconians. Between the skirmishes you had with the free people, the skirmishes you had with the black locust eaters, the skirmishes you've had as groups.
and overnight as well, because we killed like 100 of them overnight at least.
Yeah, which is probably why they're avoiding the woods now, because last night you slaughtered 100 of them in those woods.
Oh, we're gonna fucking do it again.
Maybe if they go back into the woods. All right.
Well, if they light their giant fires, we're gonna come out of the woods. Hopefully, fucking
So,
bury them.
as the day sort of fades into afternoon,
Is there? So can I ask? Is there a way for us to, without the clerics, to, make our infirmary more efficient to get more of our injured battle ready?
not really, unless Gelidus wants to go there and start spending spell slots.
Good, if that's what you guys want me to do.
I don't think we need to quite yet. But
About 2 hours before true dark, the sun has started to go down because the mountains are taller in the distance in the west. There's movement on the hillside. At first, it seems like you might have just been imagining things, but then you see they move sort of almost all at once. They come like a tidal wave, slowly, inexorably, unafraid. Thousands of draconians, the sun low behind them glinting off of unsheathed blades, the tips of tridents, bits of polished armor. They wear no expression except of that of murderous intent. And writ large upon mouths of razor-sharp fangs, there is no rhythm to their march. There's no lockstep, only the calm, slow confidence of 1,000 killing machines gearing up for the great slaughter their master has promised them. Horns honed to a fine point by rough files, scales of bronze, copper, brass, and gold, twisted by dark magic to dull, corrupted metallic mirrors. And when they are close enough, it is the sight of their eyes. Black orbs shot through with veins of red that bring the final chill of death to the spines of what defenders remain in the small, soon-to-be destroyed mining town of Wonder.
You said thousands, so does it look like 2,000 at this point or more?
You have no idea.
All right.
It
I'll
looks
ask
like a
Gala to
lot.
see his dark vision.
Let's all make wisdom saves to see if it's an illusion.
You first.
Yeah, I have 300 feet worth of dark vision.
It's not that dark out yet. You
Nat 20.
nice. Definitely not an illusion.
It's real. We're fucked.
This is what we planned for, guys. Got 'em right where we want them.
Excuse me?
We got
I'm
a
not-
big hole.
Yeah, but we're prepared for that.
Hey, we got a big hole in the ground.
They
All
call
right.
me average.
So I would
won't
like the
call you average,
centaurs
though.
ready to go out the Copper Road gate, and hit them from the side. I'm assuming they're going to kind of pile through this hole in the wall. If there's really 1,000 of them, that's going to cover. I mean, so 1,000 of them can march kind of shoulder to shoulder and not hit the woods. Like how many files are there?
It's not organized. They just started walking.
But I mean, does it look like it's 100 across, 10 deep, or does it look like it's 500 across? Like how close? If they're all marching at once, how close to the woods are they coming?
I don't know, 20 yards maybe.
Okay.
And there's more than 1,000 of them, but there's less than 2,000 of them. Again, your estimate was 1,500 from the Black Locust Eaters. That number seems accurate.
So
You can actually here. You know what might be handy? Look at this. There's a little handy dandy tool for you to visualize crowd sizes. So you're looking at between the 1,000 and 3,000 crowd size picture. It's a lot. It's a lot of bodies.
okay, has someone told me about the vials with the flaming liquid?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Jana, don't we have a bag full of those?
Yes, we used a lot of it on the caltrops.
No, you have a bag full of poison.
Okay, so they were poisoned. They weren't the same vials that we found on
And
the last group.
Jana said that during downtime she wanted to poison.
Yeah,
bunch
no,
of
that's
caltrops.
great. I didn't know that there was a different vial. Okay.
There is no hurry to their march as they come forward. They will have to narrow because that gap in the wall is only 40 to 50 feet. So you got to figure that only, maybe 10 to 20 of them at a time are going to fit through.
We don't see any of them flying, right?
You do not.
They're all walking.
Yes. Once they get in range, your arrows start to fly, and Zerwin, why don't you give me a roll? Hold on a second.
When they pop, do they affect their own troops?
Good question. You're not sure. So you want to give me a you're just rolling charisma, right? But remember that you get to add +4 to your roll.
Just a charisma roll?
Yeah, because you're wearing the crown.
$21.
Good. Okay. So looking at how this is going to go from your viewpoint, they're going to come through, and you're not sure how. Like Dirk had that elf dig that hole. You're not sure how many ranks are going to get through before it collapses, right? It's not going to be 200. It might be 100 that fall into that pit. No, just to be clear, Jenna, you said you put spikes down too, right? Caltrops, poisoned? Okay. All right, here we go.
Hold on. I want the cousins going. Do the cousins need me to go with them, or do they just need someone to tell them what to do? When you say they're going to be looking to me for leadership, or don't I know?
They're not. No, they don't need you to go with them. They
All right.
can obey orders.
All right. I want them going with the. I want them going with the. Whatchamacallits? Centaurs. I want them harrying the
They're at the south
sides.
gate. All right.
Yep. I want them at the south gate. I want them just bashing the shit out of the side of these guys as they wait to get into the gap.
Do we?
I don't know if I can get a runner out to the woods. Right. Obviously, I trust the Ursines and the Black Locust Eaters to start attacking from the rear and sides as appropriate, especially if they're coming close to the woods. I also would like to get several of the. I know we've got a bunch of men manning the walls. I would like to get people. Where do I want them?
All right, so think about each one of the players as a captain for a squad.
Yep.
So who do you want with what groups? Because right now
all
you
right,
have free people, you
I
have the
want
cousins, and you have the militia.
Jana. Why don't you go with? Well, and we've got the cousins and the centaurs together. I've got those two together, right? So,
Yeah, so their total number is going to be about 65 between the two of them.
so who's going to be the best at? Um, I want to send Jana with them to just lob fucking arrows into the sides of these guys while they're trying to get in. Unless Jana, you think you have some better usage inside the city walls. I assume you're, you know.
My only concern is that I think I have one of the arrows that we need for Rhymeroth. So if Rhymeroth comes, I need to be close. But he's big, I'll see him. So sure, I'll go with the centaurs and the
Okay.
cousins.
You have townsfolk gathered here with spears. That's correct in this road.
Yep.
And
I'd
townsfolk here with spears on top of this earthen rampart.
Yeah, Dirk, you stay with the townsfolk, and you just
Okay.
bash the shit out of them coming to the door and
Which
fall in the
one?
hole.
This one or this one? Because the rampart goes here, and then there's this big, huge collapsed building, and there's another earthen rampart here. That's 20 feet high, and then this is
Mm-hmm.
about 20 feet deep. So it's a 40-foot difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Dirk, you go to the north side of the hole.
Cool.
Gelidus and Owen, are you good manning the? I assume you guys are going together, so you guys take the group to the
Yeah.
south. Ezra, I want you on the wall to communicate with the barbarians if you have to.
Yeah, you
And
want me where I am on the
yes,
north side?
essentially, so you
Yeah,
can
you
be
got it.
lobbing fireballs and
Yep.
helping the barbarians. I assume these squads of barbarians, the one from the fortress can come
So the
back.
way that they can get out of this hole is this direction, and this is
Yes,
where you have the bulk of the free people.
yes.
Do you
So
want
I'm
them
just
to move south from that corner? Like, do you want the barbarians? Sorry.
no.
Do you want them
I
here?
would rather get the barbarians up to the pond and have them fight them around the corner.
Cool. You got it.
Because if they all go that way, Dirk can lead his crew back to the east to that next choke point, which is going to be right. So the barbarians should essentially move this way. They're going to fight and give ground, right,
Yeah.
knocking them into the water back to here. Once they're all through, Dirk, your crew is going to fall back and try to pinch them here, and Gelidus, your crew will continue to fight at the wall. Because I assume this is going to fill up, and they're going to start walking all over each other, right? So you guys will make sure you push them, continue to harry them here. Dirk, you hold here as long as you can. We're hoping that they're all going to flow this way. The barbarians are going to go back. So, Dirk, those 15 barbarians at the fortress don't need to be there. I think I'd actually like to keep some barbarians at both gates. We don't know what the hell else they're going to do.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. The ones that are by the fortress, I'll move those to the southeastern gate because the centaurs aren't there anymore.
Yep. Okay.
And then maybe this militia squad will be at the fortress instead.
Yeah, that's fine. Just and then I need at least one squad as runners. Bill, I'll let you tell us when we get any information. But
Bill, does it look like they have any like ladders or siege equipment at all, or they're just marching toward the hole?
You don't see any. However, when they get about 100 yards to 200 yards away from the wall, the cannons open up again.
Oh no, that's weird.
all right.
Both of them this time, even the one that we thought we had disabled.
No, sorry, the cannon opens up again.
So I guess did we tell everybody how we disabled the first cannon when Ezra got back? Did we share that with the captains?
It's up to you.
It's up to
Do
Bill.
you mean what I have shared it with you, or would you have seen, or?
Yeah,
it was really difficult to miss the massive fireball that slammed into that cannon. But it's going to be equally difficult for anybody else to do that now.
No, I know, but if there's what I would love to, we don't even have to destroy the wheels. If it's on fucking wheels, I want to push it down the hill into the back of the Draconians. I want it to fucking roll. It's on a hill, right?
It is.
I would love for the fucking bears to push that fucker down the hill right into the back of the Draconians.
So it has like a tongue on the back to balance it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it like sits on is the wheels, and you lift the tongue up to move it. So you have to just like any trailer, you have to
Yeah, but
constantly be lifting up the tongue in order for it to roll.
even down the hill,
Yeah, I mean it'll drag that tongue, right?
that's fine. I also just want it to stop firing at the fucking walls.
Boss, just send me out there to burn one wheel.
And I mean, the Draconians aren't guarding it anymore. It should just be the humans and maybe a few Draconian guards. Most of the Draconians are marching on the city now. Like
I'm saying
we could
we
have
don't
the
need
Ursans
to.
attack.
That's what I'm saying. We have the Ursans and the Black Locust Eaters out there. The reason I asked if we shared it with them is so that they would know how to disable it, and I don't have to send a runner.
But they're still on this side of.
They would have seen the fireball, and they would have seen that the lightning seemed not to work.
Would they not have to fight through an army of Draconians to get to the other side?
No, the Draconians are moving towards us. They just have to wait until they get behind them. They're
just going to pass through them?
No, they're in the trees over here. So
I thought they were in trees over on the other side too.
No, they're in here. So once the Draconians move up, they just come out the backside of the trees and get up there. Oh, Jana quit. Well, I guess I'm. Let me send a runner. Hopefully they get there and tell them if you guys to let the Ursans and the Black Locust Eaters know to when they get a chance, get out there, kill the humans, or disable that cannon. One or the other. They could either try to kill the 100 humans if they can do that effectively, or.
I think we want them fighting the Draconians. Just send me out there, man. Like, hey, I can do this 1-to-1. I'll burn a wheel off.
Put me in, coach.
We don't have time.
The humans are all wearing medium to heavy armor, and it's a crew of 5 humans on each cannon. Like it's not.
Once you become unethereal, you're going to be fighting 5 guys by yourself.
All right. I'll just light a wheel on fire, and if I feel like I'm about to die, I'll just go ethereal again.
You can only do it once.
You can only do it once every short rest.
Can I not use it if I come out of it?
This was part of the thing, is that I'm pretty sure it only lasts 1 action. Your character sheet is kind of interesting about it, but according to the class description, etherealness only lasts 1 round, so it lasts 6 seconds. Like it's an ethereal step.
No, I have ethereal step, and once I got to level 7, I got etherealness, which
Ether-
is
Etherealness is a level 7 spell, which you shouldn't get until level like 14.
But
Like,
it is in his spell list as a 7th level spell, I think.
yeah.
but like we don't get
I know what
level
you're
7
saying.
spells
No, I
at
totally
level
get it.
7.
I don't know things, but when I leveled up to this level, they said you can have this version of this spell now through the computer. That's all.
At
I don't
7th
know.
level, you learn to step through the ethereal plane. As a bonus action, you can cast the etherealness spell with this feature without expending a spell slot, but the spell ends at the end of the current turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. It's so poorly worded.
And
It's like
it is true that Kyle, you have it like listed twice under something. I don't know if it's I think it's under actions maybe and not spells.
So, do I not have this 7th level spell called etherealness that can last for up to 8 hours?
You have a
You do.
version of it.
No, he has
I ha-
Ethereal Step and Etherealness. It's part of Horizon Walker. It's on
Yeah.
the character sheet under features and traits.
that's what I'm looking at too, and it shows both of them. But it does
I-
say you can cast the etherealness spell, but the spell ends at the end of the current turn, which doesn't make sense because that's not how etherealness works.
Right. It's a version. It because it's a class feature, and he gets it before classes would normally be able to cast it. He doesn't get the full benefit of it. So it will follow the wording on Ethereal Step.
So I don't have 7th level transmutation etherealness that lasts up to 8 hours.
It does not
Correct.
seem that way. Yes.
Because it only the spell ends at the end of the current turn, which means you turn ethereal, and then the next time your initiative comes up, you are not ethereal.
It's the way I read it is it's essentially an upgraded version of Misty Step. Whereas in Misty Step you can only teleport to something you can see. Because you
Yeah.
are entering the ethereal plane, you can walk through walls, ceilings, floors, doors, because you can see through them when you're in the ethereal plane. It's I think that's the way it works. It's like a better version of Misty Step.
That's ethereal step, but he also gets etherealness, but it only lasts instead of lasting 8 hours. It only
Right.
lasts for one action.
No,
Which
not
is
one action.
essentially the
One
same as
turn,
the
sorry.
One turn.
One turn.
So and it's a bonus action, so you could combine it. You could become ethereal with a bonus action, and then you could sprint 90 feet, and you'd be ethereal the entire way, and then and you would be ethereal until your next initiative round came back up. So nothing would be able to attack you if it was going after you.
I mean, I think it's until the end of his turn, not
End of
until his next turn.
It says the end of the current turn, which is not that's the round.
All right.
I trust all of you. Where is this information? I click on this
Yeah.
spell.
No, this is one of the problems is that a lot of this stuff, the crunchy stuff, is not well presented. So if like
stop. Just stop. Rather than go into a critique of Dungeons and Dragons, just click on your character sheet, then go to features and traits, then scroll down until you see ethereal step. Features and traits would be right. It's the big box that'll say actions, spells, inventory, features and traits. Then you go to ethereal
Yeah.
step. Then you can click
Yeah.
on ethereal step, and you can click on etherealness, and to your right, a description will pop up.
Why can't I use etherealness as a spell as it is listed in my spells, which I would not have selected if it was a feature and trait?
You can use it, but it has that caveat with it because you don't have to spend a spell slot to do it. It is not. It is a hold on. You can cast the ethereal spell without expending a spell slot.
Hey. So if I use a spell slot, I still don't get the version that I like.
Right, but you're not high enough level to be able to cast a level 7 spell. None of us are. So none of us have access to level 7 spells. So
Yeah, you'd have to
we-
be like 14th level.
it's only listed in your spell so that you have the descriptor, so you can look at what the spell does, and you get all the benefits of the spell. It just only lasts a round, not 8 hours.
Okay.
It's poorly worded.
I just don't understand the organization system. I trust you all. You don't have to try to convince me. You're smarter than me.
It is super confusing, even to someone who does read it a lot.
Yeah,
It's
you
poorly
would
phrased.
have to know the details.
So, regardless, right? You will not be able to turn ethereal more than
All the
once,
way out there.
right?
Right.
Yeah, and yeah,
So it's a bonus action once per short rest instead of a spell. So I'm not going to use any more spell slots on Ethereal.
yes.
Got it.
Well, useful skill in combat, just not for this case. So
Or if we're trying to get through a wall or a ceiling or a floor.
Or if you're about to be eaten by a dragon.
Yep.
mm,
Which
This is a
foreshadowing?
good time to use it.
Okay. Just this is the information you get next, right? So through that gap in the wall, right? The first one, the you know bizarrely calm, but starting to like ramp up draconians that come pouring through. 33 of them get through before the thin wall collapses, and they drop 20 feet down and hit the poison caltrops. They also all take damage. Several of them die. Oh, they don't take falling damage. Never mind. They take 0 falling damage because they have controlled fall from their wings.
Permission. Sorry, can I cast a spell when they hit the bottom?
No.
Alright.
When it's your turn, you can. Just let me finish this. So, but they do all hit. So all 33 of them will have a chance to hit the caltrops. And I'm going to roll for that now to see how many of them do. So 20 of them hit the caltrops, which have the nasty poison on them. And so 20 of them are paralyzed. 13 of them are able to move. Okay. That happens sort of like all at once, and at the same, like nearly the same moment, the wall to the north gets a cannonball that smashes through. That's the second hole that I put on here.
wait, it smashes all the way through.
Yes, but it's only big enough for a few to fit through at a time.
Was there not ice on that part?
There was. It fires every 5 minutes, and it hit. It's been waiting. Okay. So Gelidus and Owen, you each have a squad of the militia / regulars that you are in control of. And you are positioned, I believe you said you wanted to be. Can you move your characters to where you're supposed to be on the map?
Are we supposed to be like just south of the thing? Yeah, right there.
Dirk also is supposed to be there. Ezra, you're not commanding a group, is that correct, Zerwin? Ezra is not in command of, like he's not a captain to a group?
No, he's just he's kind of the middleman to be able to lob and then communicate with the barbarians if we need to.
Okay. And Jana, you are with the cousins and centaurs? And where are they? Can you move them in position? And now, yes, Ezra, you can do a thing.
I am going to cast I think I'm going to cast Sickening Radiance, but if you'll allow me to, I don't know how to make the circles on Owlbear. I need a circle that is 60 foot in diameter, 30-foot radius.
One second.
Why? Where are you putting it?
I'm just I need to see what it's going to look like before I decide if that's the spell I want to cast.
Well, 60-foot radius is going to cover that entire hole, right? Because that hole, the white hole, is 40 feet.
Yeah, I will move myself 25 feet north, and I am going to cast Sickening Radiance so that it basically I'm thinking like kind of like centered here, which is again 40 foot. Let me double check that 40-foot radius. Sorry, 30-foot radius. So that essentially it covers the hole, and the northern edge of the hole is kind of like where I'm centering it. But I want to make sure if
Do you need me to put something down for you?
if you don't mind,
Yeah.
because I don't know where you even find that.
But
All right. So there's that.
That's
And
40 foot.
no,
What's
it's
the
not.
radius?
There's no appropriate scale, is what I'm saying. It's you have to tell me like. So that white circle is going to be the same. Is going to be 40 foot from end to end.
Okay. Then that white circle is the same distance. So essentially a circle of that size, but a little bit farther north, so that the draconians that are in the hole, and as they're trying to climb out on the north side, they're still getting hit. That's where the Sickening Radiance is centered.
You're muted, Dirk.
I was supposed to be up there. Zerwin sent me up there before. I was just in the wrong spot on the map.
And then, so what that means is whenever a creature either moves into the spell area or starts its turn there, it has to make a Constitution saving throw. The
So
DC is 16.
so that means that there's no captain for all of the townspeople that are here. Because Dirk, you said you were here with them.
Oh
but
yeah,
now-
no. Dirk is supposed to be where in that road. Yeah, where Bill has you.
All right. I thought it was supposed to be north.
Sorry, Ezra, say again.
So when a draconian, well, when anybody either enters that circle or starts their turn there, they have to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 16. And if they fail, they take 4d10 radiant damage and 1 level of exhaustion, and they also glow green. And that exhaustion stuff is going to be important.
How long does it last?
Up to 10 minutes, as long as I'm concentrating on it. And that's part of why I moved myself north.
Okay. Very good. All right. We're going to end it there with the Draconians filing in here, right? Climbing the walls here, climbing the walls here, climbing the walls here, and a thin sliver of Draconians coming in here. The daylight is slowly fading, but it is a long time from dark. The battle in earnest has really just begun, as now the sort of butcher's work of blade to blade and trident to face has begun. So next time we start, you're going to be rolling for a squad and mass combat rules. Apparently, except for Ezra.
Like we did for the ambush, right?
Yes. The only difference is now there is potentially 500 troops here, right? Just about. So we'll say 150, 125-ish for each of these captains. And there's nobody with the barbarians except for Belga and Jorth.
And then the Black Locust Eaters and the Ursines are doing their own thing too.
Yes, and where is Jana with the cousins and the...
They should be approaching from the south. They should be coming this way.
Yeah, we were on the Copper Road. I can't figure out. I can't see which of these I'm having trouble with. Owlbear. Yeah, thank you.
So I don't know if we're going to have a time penalty on this, but that's they are rushing from the south. Start
Okay.
peppering their sides.
All right. Be prepared to make many rolls when we resume. I will hopefully be less sick and a little less foggy-headed. Yes, that's it. We're all set. Everyone's in position. This is good. We're making a whole bunch of rolls here, and you know, you have a cannon still firing, and you have roughly 1,500 draconians. That's it. So nothing too serious. Nothing you can't just sort of roll with the punches and brush off. Very good. Sorry if I was a little foggy-brained tonight, or a little short on patience, but you did it, everyone. You put out the fires. You disabled one cannon, and you kept your casualties to a minimum. Although you did lose all the cousins' leadership for now.
They didn't fucking listen to me.
I got conflicting reports.
Yeah. Not my fault.
Danger awesome points.
They're traitors. We should execute them publicly for morale.
Bell could probably agree with you, little man. I'm giving mine to Ezra for knocking out a cannon.
I give mine to Owen for thinking of jumping off the wall first.
I'm going to give mine to Jenna for poisoning the caltrops.
Giving mine to Ezra for cannon and cheetah riding.
Oh
Great
yeah,
riding.
Yeah, likewise.
didn't even fall off.
Somebody's gonna
I'm
need
going to
to
give
illustrate
mine
that.
to Dirk for having the foresight to enlist a quadruped as a lookout in the mines.
Yeah, good foresight there.
Donka.
I mean, it's hard not to give a danger awesome point to Ezra for riding a cheetah, who's actually a middle-aged woman, who's twice his size, and
Not against her will.
Listen, I'm
Which is a plus.
I'm going to try to spend some personal time with that druid at the end of all this.
That's assuming you both survive.
If we survive.
All right.
Um,
Try not to put a negative spin on it there, guys.
No, you guys are going to make it together. I'll burn all my healing spells to make sure.
Jana.
Yeah?
The crowd has awarded you a danger awesome point.
Why?
I don't know. They like you. Did you post any pictures of crocheted animals?
I didn't.
Well, they didn't say why.
Not to be like maybe it's
Ungrateful.
because I was the one who told Dirk to
It's true.
Put someone in the mines. Thank you, crowd. I like you too.
And that is all for this evening. I'm gonna turn the stream off as soon as I remember how. Good night, y'all.
Right.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.